The will changes everything. Marco and Blaze's biological dad exposed. Spoilers. It was a gloomy afternoon in Port Charles when family and friends gathered in the Corinthos estate for a will reading that no one had expected. The sudden death of renowned music producer Cristiano Moretti, Blaze's late godfather and longtime family benefactor, had cast a shadow over the city's entertainment elite. But what nobody knew, what no one could have guessed, was that the reading of Cristiano's will would reveal the greatest secret the Moretti family had ever kept. Blaze sat in the corner, dressed in black, eyes downcast. Across the room, Marco Santiago, her supposed half-brother and a rising music talent himself, was quiet, his usually cocky demeanor subdued. The room was filled with familiar faces, Christina Corinthos Davis, clutching Blaze's hand for comfort. Sonny Corinthos, his expression unreadable. Anna Devane and Dante Falconeri, present due to whispers that Cristiano's estate contained more than financial dealings. Alexis Davis, there as Blaze's legal support. And seated behind the lawyer's desk, stone-faced and composed, was Martin Gray, holding the sealed will in his hand. He broke the silence. "Thank you for coming. For Cristiano Moretti's final wishes, I'm here to execute his legal will and testament. I must warn you, what is in this document may change lives. Permanently." Blaze felt a chill run down her spine. Martin unfolded the document and began to read. After the usual allocations, properties, musical royalties, charitable donations, he came to a section labeled, "To My True Children." The room went completely silent. To Marco and Blaze, Martin read aloud, glancing up to gauge reactions. "You are both adults now, and it's time you knew the truth. You are not just part of my legacy, I am your biological father. Not step, not godfather, father. And the circumstances of your birth are far more dangerous and tangled than anyone ever knew." Christina gasped, eyes wide. Blaze blinked slowly, as if trying to make sense of the words. "What?" Marco muttered, standing. He was my father?" Martin continued reading. "I never intended to keep the secret forever. But there were threats, real threats, that if the truth came out, both of you would be taken from me. Because your mother, Isabella Santiago, once worked as a spy, and the man everyone believed was your father, Miguel Santiago, was not who he claimed to be. Miguel was a cover identity. The man she truly loved and conceived you with was me." No. "That's impossible," Blaze whispered, shaking her head as tears brimmed in her eyes. "He wasn't my dad. He was my mentor. He helped raise me, but he couldn't be." Marco, meanwhile, looked like he'd seen a ghost. "I don't understand. My mother said she loved my dad. She wouldn't lie about that." Sonny stood slowly, his face dark with something unreadable. "Cristiano always kept things tight. This explains why he was always so invested in your careers, why he went to war with my rivals to protect you." Dante stepped forward. "Martin, is there any proof of this claim? Anyone could write a statement before death. Are there records?" Martin pulled out 2 sealed envelopes. "DNA reports. Cristiano had them prepared last year. Independent lab. Signed. Witnessed. Marco and Blaze are both biologically his children." Blaze collapsed back into her chair, the tears finally falling. Christina knelt beside her, whispering, "It doesn't change who you are. You're still you, Blaze." Marco, however, wasn't handling the revelation so well. "I've built my life thinking I was Miguel Santiago's son. If Cristiano was my dad, why didn't he claim me sooner? Why lie?" Martin hesitated before answering. "There's more. Cristiano feared the truth would put you in danger. And the truth is, someone didn't want you to know." Anna Devane stepped forward. "I knew Cristiano from my time in WSB. He wasn't just a music mogul. He was once embedded in an underground intelligence ring trying to take down a syndicate. If Isabella was involved, and the kids were born of that union, it's possible the enemy was watching them their whole lives. And if that enemy is still active," Sonny added grimly, "then Marco and Blaze might be targets now that the truth is public." Martin nodded. Cristiano's will also included a warning. He suspected someone close to the Corinthos family was feeding information to outside forces, and that this person would do anything to suppress the truth. Eyes turned toward the door just as it opened. Valentine Cassadine walked in, cool and collected. Did I miss the good part? You have nerve, Anna muttered, narrowing her eyes. Valentine chuckled. Relax. I'm not here to cause chaos. But I do know who's been watching Marco and Blaze, and it isn't me. Valentine approached Blaze and Marco. The syndicate Cristiano fought? It still exists. It's called the Veil, and it's been infiltrating Port Charles through music and charity fronts. Cristiano had ties to them once. He broke away. That's why he kept your parentage secret. Sonny's jaw clenched. You're saying someone in Port Charles is working with them? Valentine nodded. Yes. And they're using your father's death as a way to manipulate you both. There's a target on your backs, and someone you trust put it there. Dante looked from Valentine to Sonny. Do we have names? Valentine hesitated. I only have initials, JD. And the last encrypted message Cristiano ever sent before his death said, JD knows. The kids aren't safe if I die. If the will is Reed, make sure Christina protects Blaze. Marco. He won't forgive me, but he needs the truth more than anyone. Marco stood up. I want to know everything. What this JD person wanted. Who they are. Why they care who my father is. Christina whispered to Blaze, could JD be Jack Devereaux? He's been poking around Port Charles lately. No, Blaze murmured. Cristiano had a music rival with those initials. Jason Duval. He threatened my dad years ago. Said if he didn't stay quiet about the children, he'd pay. That night, Marco slipped away from the estate and confronted Jason Duval at the Metro Court Bar. You lied about everything, didn't you? Marco demanded, fists clenched. You knew Cristiano was my father. Jason sneered. He wasn't your father. He was a spy who seduced your mother and stole you away from the Santiago legacy. You worked with the Veil, Marco said coldly. You're the one who sabotaged Blaze's last tour. You poisoned Cristiano's drink the night he died, didn't you? Jason raised an eyebrow. I don't have to answer to you. You do now, came a voice from behind. Blaze and Christina emerged from the shadows, along with Dante, badge raised. You're under arrest for conspiracy, attempted murder, and possibly more, Dante growled. Back at the estate, Anna and Valentine quietly discussed the future. If Blaze and Marco are targets, Anna said, they need protection and guidance. This secret reshapes their entire identity. They're Moretti now, Valentine said. And Moretti blood comes with enemies. The next morning, Blaze and Marco sat in the garden alone. The silence between them was no longer awkward, it was full of understanding. I hated him for not telling me, Marco said. But he was trying to keep us safe. I always wanted a dad, Blaze admitted. I just never thought it was him. But now that I know, it's like part of me makes sense. They looked at each other, two strangers connected by blood, trauma, and music. Marco chuckled. So, siblings, huh? Blaze smiled through her tears. Half-siblings. Full heart. Christina appeared behind them. Hey, Blaze? You okay? Blaze nodded. Better now. Christina kissed her forehead. Whatever happens next, we face it together. Later that day, Martin approached them again. There's one final part of the will, he said. A video message. Cristiano recorded it a week before he died. The screen flickered on. Cristiano sat at his desk, eyes tired but full of warmth. If you're seeing this, I'm gone. And you know the truth. Blaze. Marco. I loved you more than anything. I never stopped. I made mistakes. I ran from enemies instead of standing and fighting. But you're my legacy now. You carry my heart, my music, and my strength. He paused, breathing shakily. Do not trust power without proof. Do not give your heart to shadows. And, whatever you do, love each other. You were born of love, not war. The screen faded. Blaze sobbed openly. Marco's shoulders shook. Sonny Corinthos stood behind them, voice low. You've got family now. We'll protect you. Weeks passed. Jason Duval was officially charged. The Veil's influence was being investigated by WSB and Peace PD. Marco and Blaze released a duet under the name Legacy. The song became a global hit. It wasn't just a tribute, it was a battle cry of identity, of family, of truth. And at the dedication ceremony for Cristiano's new music foundation, Blaze took the stage with Christina beside her. "This foundation will protect artists who grew up in the shadows, like we did," she said. "And this next song? It's for the man who raised me, and the brother I finally found." As music filled the Port Charles air, the crowd rose to its feet. A storm had passed, but in its wake, a family was born.